have nothing to do today. Ever. That's it. That's everything we're doing today.
That's it.
Whoa.
Yo, she looks scared,
The chase is on, man.
She looks really scared.
Leave her alone.
Oh, but she stopped, see? It's it's a part of the game. He stopped, so she stopped.
So I decided to go bowling today. I was working on my spin, and I think I kind of centered in on my one-handed roll. And towards the end there, when my time was up, I was only gonna play for an hour. I finally found it, and I was having such a good game, and I was rushing that game too, so I decided to do another half hour, and I got very close to my personal best of 182. I got 179 in that last game, but that was pretty fun, and I got a lot of practice in, but my hands are blistering up now.
I came here and there was just a goose like walking in the rain in front of me and Deshaun.
God.
And then it passed a dog, and then the dog like sniffed it, and then he started running after the dog.
The goose did?
The goose was running after the dog and then chasing it, and then I was like, all right. So then it started coming after Deshaun, and then I was like, all right, like, you know. But then he wasn't really scared of us, so then he was just kind of running around and like honking and stuff.
Do we have a pet goose now?
Yeah, and so he was just walking around that park, that like school park.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, bro, come on, let's go, let's cross the street. And then he crossed the street with me and like stuck close to me.
He's gonna follow us home.
That's fine.
Since it has been raining today, I think it would be a good day to talk and share some of my thoughts on a few things. And one of them particularly is just trying to find my style. And when I think about YouTube and I see all the other things on YouTube that people are creating, there's a part of me that sees a lot of this stuff and feels like a lot of it are kind of just like copycats of each other. But when it comes to these videos, I basically just want to record whatever I do record, and then when I throw it into Premiere where I edit my videos, I just kind of follow my spirit. And based off of, you know, the things that I watch, the things that I'm interested in, some of those influences may come out, but I'm not basically going out with the intent of copying a particular style, or in editing, like I don't have another monitor where I'm basically trying to mimic another person's style. And I do think that this is a process. I think the more videos that I create, the more I center in on what my style is, and I don't think I've quite found it yet, but I do want to figure out what that is. And it has been a very interesting process. I was taking a look back at the old videos that I created, and it feels like there are very distinct periods as I scroll through my feed of where I was at that point in terms of my goal and my why of why I was creating videos. So my first videos, the reason why I started doing YouTube videos was to get more comfortable in front of the camera, speaking in front of the camera. And at that time, I was doing a lot of talks at conferences, and I did want to build up my experience in public speaking. And I thought by doing YouTube and doing a lot of these videos, like talking directly to the camera, I get a lot more comfortable in speaking and just getting better at communicating my thoughts. And that was my intent for quite a while. And then it turned into basically getting interested in like, oh, like I wonder if I could get popular on YouTube. So I thought about creating videos that spoke to specific subjects that I thought a lot of people would watch. And after trying that for a couple videos, I was like, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I'm trying to do on YouTube. And then it wasn't until the pandemic when I started creating videos for a completely different reason, which was basically documenting our lives and sharing with other people what we were doing throughout the pandemic, because I wanted people to stay up to date with what we were doing, even though we were all kind of disconnected and staying at home and keeping to ourselves. As we kind of got out of the pandemic and were able to go outside again, I started trying to make videos not just about like daily what we were doing, but like trying to center videos on a singular topic. And I did that for quite a bit. And that was interesting, but it was also very overwhelming in a way, because whenever it came to thinking about what my next video would be, I was doing a lot of planning to a point that I would get overwhelmed and just not record, or get too nervous to record something. So I stopped that for a bit, and then my next kind of portion of videos were just solely about trips. And when I went to doing that, I mean, I would only be really creating videos whenever there was a trip, which wasn't really that frequently. And a part of me was curious about starting to create videos around my thoughts. So I had a little bit of a like journaling aspect to my videos, and it was more about just speaking my thoughts in front of a camera. And now I'm back to doing these daily vlogs, and I think it's back to that original thing that had me really interested in vlogging, which was documenting my life. At that time when I quit my job, I was watching back all of my old YouTube videos, and I think the videos that I really enjoyed were the ones that I was documenting throughout the pandemic. It was really fun to look back like a year ago and remember some of the stuff that we did. I think Jess and I had a period where we rewatched like a whole bunch of videos I created throughout the pandemic, and we had like a really good time doing that. And that's kind of why I restarted the vlog again. And I think for the past like 3 or so weeks, I've just been documenting every single day, and I think that's been fun, and it's been natural, and it hasn't been overwhelming to just, you know, literally just record anything and everything, and just like mashing it all up together in a video. Very low consequence, low pressure, and that's been really, really fun. I have been wanting to reintroduce some of the other things that I was experimenting with in the past, like focusing each video on a singular subject and talking more about my thoughts. Now that I have quit Twitter, I still have a lot of these thoughts ruminating in my head, and maybe using YouTube to share those on video instead of using Twitter as the outlet to talk about those thoughts. So I feel like I want to start dabbling in some of those things again, and that's kind of been on my mind. So I feel like I am going to experiment in some of my future videos with some of those ideas. So there's going to be a lot of experimentation. And back to my original point that I was making at the beginning of this, which was finding my style. It really is this whole experimentation phase and just trying a bunch of diverse different things to ultimately land on what you feel like is the thing that you're naturally gravitating to, which ultimately becomes your style. So that's kind of the thoughts that I was thinking about today on this rainy day, and to expect some maybe interesting new directions or new things that I want to try out through this vlog. And I think this vlog, by calling them vlogs, it takes that pressure off of like trying to conform to a style, but to be able to experiment with anything and everything with zero expectations.